And yeah, so a warm welcome from Mumbai. And we're going to be talking about experiential based learning and why have I taken this topic. And it's like Gaurav said, it's a need of the hour. So very many years I had done a research on this, and I have met many people and many educators. And I've always felt that there has been a misconception. People have mostly confused experiential based learning with experimental based learning. So experiments are can be part of experiential learning, but experiential learning is not just experiments. And that is why I wanted to take this experience to give you an experience of experiential based learning. So for that reason, I want first of all that if you can just have two sheets of identical papers later on, not right now, two sheets, either even two parts of a newspaper or two pages of a notebook, something like that. I'm going to be showing you a video. And I would like you to see that video very, very clearly, because after that, we're going to have some question and answers. So
some call me nature. Others call me Mother Nature. I've been here. Some call me nature. Others call me Mother Nature. I've been here for over 4.5 billion years, 22,500 times longer than you. I don't really need people, but people need me. Yes, your future depends on me. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. Or worse. But I've been here for eons. I have fed species greater than you, and I have starved species greater than you. My oceans, my soil, my flowing streams, my forests, they all can take you or leave you. How you choose to live each day, whether you regard or disregard me, doesn't really matter to me. One way or the other. Your actions will determine your fate, not mine. I am nature. I will go on. I am prepared to evolve. Are you?
So how did you feel after watching this video? Please write in the chat box exactly what did you feel while watching this video.
I am the ocean. I'm water. I'm most of this planet. I shaped it. Every stream, every cloud, and every raindrop. It all comes back to me.
Okay, so I'm just trying to just work this out.
Good. We are getting some good response on the chat window.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So I'm just trying to see how to get the chat back because I've just switched off my video. So I'm just trying to struggle with that. Just 1 second, give me something. Okay, chat here. Okay, no voice, pleasant. We must value nature, its reality. Okay, nature at its best, right? So you're getting the experience right now, what you're feeling about it. Now, based on this video, I'm going to be going back to it and I'm going to be asking you some questions out here. So can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Gaurav?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay. So
I will request members to please not use any form of screen, drawings, etc. Kindly. Okay, please go
okay.
ahead. Yeah.
So we just saw this video. So now when I was reflect on this video that you've seen and look at these questions that I've posed on you. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. What do you think these lines are trying to convey? All your responses, if you can just put it in the chat, I can just go through it and go read across.
Yes. So basically, I have kept all of them, Kavita ji. So
Yeah.
as I said, the first half, when you are presenting largely, everyone be sending their feedback on the chat window.
Yes.
Okay. So, and while we will go into the Q&A section, which is later after your presentation, then I'll be unmuting or only unmuting those participants who will be raising their hand for that matter. Okay.
Okay. So when you're getting it right, that nature is the supreme controller. When you thrive, you thrive. For example, your actions will determine your fate. What is your fate? Are we humans prepared to evolve? Looking at the situation that we have right now and how nature is taking its way back with us. Are we humans prepared to evolve in today's scenario? What message does the video try to convey? Now this beautiful video was made in 2014. But how can we connect the message today with the scenario that we are facing today? So what I've done right now is I'm asking you to reflect on the video. You can note down your responses and I'll go back to it later on and definitely connect back to you later. Express something video and post some thinking questions to you. And I'm going to give you some 30 seconds for you to think on these questions. So I'm fine. I'm sure you have your responses. Now, after you have your responses, note down all that you've learned from these responses. What did you learn from all that you noted down right now? I posed 5 questions to you. What is it that you've learned from this entire video? Yes, definitely. If you respect and take care of nature, save Earth, every action is like an equal and opposite reaction, respect nature. I think you are all bang on. So now you've already learned that we need to respect nature. Now that we've learned how we have to need to respect nature, how is a new learning going to be translated now in our life? So how is it going to be, new learning going to be implemented in our life now? Sustainable development. Yes, learn by coming out of a comfort zone. Nature can be constructive. Don't exploit nature. Exactly. So if you notice, wow, that's really good. Very, very good. I really have a talented lot of teachers. Thank you so much. So now what did we actually do right now? We did an experiential learning cycle where I first gave you an experience, then you reflected, then you came up with some answers, and now you're transferring those answers. So David Kolb is the one who actually got experiential learning in 1984. And he says it is a process where knowledge is created through transformation of experience. Very, very important, transformation of experience. You experience something, how have you taken that experience, reflected on it, abstracted the learning, and you're going to be transforming it. So that's the most important thing. So knowledge results in the combination of grasping and transforming experience. And this cycle is the most important cycle. First of all, you have an experience, which you first did when you had watching that video. After that, you were reflecting on that video. You were reviewing. You had that experience. You were reviewing. You're thinking about that experience. Then I was giving you some thinking questions. Based on the thinking questions, I was driving you towards something. And therefore, you started concluding and learning from the experience. And after that, active experimentation, where you now transfer the learning to a new situation. This entire cycle is called as the experiential learning cycle. Now I'm going to be doing something else right now. I'm going to be showing you another video where NASA lands InSight into Mars. Now watch this video very clearly, because I'm going to be asking again a lot of thinking questions. We're going to take this entire circle, this entire cycle into more deeper knowledge of David Kolb's experiential based learning cycle.
Traveling at a velocity of 2,000 meters per second.
Can everybody see this?
Passed through peak deceleration. Telemetry shows the spacecraft saw about 8 G. InSight should now be experiencing the peak EV rate.
Yes, yes, we can see.
Ground stations are observing signals consistent with parachute deploy.
For Bravo, maintain lock status.
Altitude convergence. The radar on the ground. Standing by for lander separation. Lander separation commanded. Altitude 600 meters. Altitude 400 meters. 200 meters. 80 meters. 60 meters. 30 meters. 20 meters. 17 meters. Standing by for touchdown. Touchdown confirmed.
So this was about NASA sending InSight back into Mars. So I want to know now, how many of you all have an idea of what InSight actually is? It happened in 2018 itself. Okay, teamwork, mission accomplished, yes. Okay, so Insight, I'm going to share you some information about Insight. Insight was launched in May 2018 and it landed in Elysium Planitia on 26 November 2018. It was sent on to Mars and it had two main science goals. Understand the formation and evolution of Mars and determine the level of tectonic activity on collective team efforts. Yes, teamwork is very important. Okay, so you saw by watching this. What did you? Great. Now, in your class, when you show this video, all students are very different. Some of them, when they watch the video, they'll be all happy and joyous, and just like, the probe has landed on Mars. You started thinking about the video. Somebody will be wondering, it's measuring 2 things. How do you come with another probe which can measure 5 things? How do we know whether there is life form on Mars? Is it going to check any alien out? Some principles have been used here. So what happened is, from concrete, it went to reflection where they were watching. And from there, they started doing thinking. Now here it's very, very important. From concrete to reflective, there's this entire cycle which is going on. And that's where learning styles are going to be coming out. From reflective, the child is now thinking. You've asked some thinking questions out here. So the thinking questions that I can ask right now to you. What is insight? What speed is it traveling? What is insight experiencing at different heights before touchdown? Why was the touchdown important? What concepts of science can be taught to using the video? At this time, when you talk about why was the touchdown important, you can even connect it to our entire situation, like Chandrayaan 2. The touchdown did not happen. So why was the touchdown important? So when you ask these thinking questions, again, you're asking the children to do some abstract thinking. They're coming up to some concepts. And based on the concepts, you can start teaching them so many things. And then once you have it, you go on to your experimentation. So the cycle is very important, where you first have a feeling, watching, thinking, doing. Now, why are we going in great detail is from here in your class, you're going to come up to now learning styles of your students. Because David Cope says that based on the learning styles, what the child is actually going through with the experience, you know how your child is thinking. What is the learning style of your child? And based on that, you can form your groups and start teaching them accordingly. Now, if the child, there are 2 continuums out here. You have a vertical continuum called as the perception continuum. The perception continuum is basically about emotional response. When you see something, what did you feel? Ecstatic, sad, unhappy? What were you feeling? And the horizontal continuum is called as a processing continuum. How are we going to approach a task? Are you guys going to be thinking about it? Are you going to be acting on it? Are you going to be, being pragmatic about it? So how are you going to process it? So there are 2 longitudinal continuums. One is the perception continuum and one is the processing. Now, if you are between concrete experience and between reflective observation, then your learning style is you are a diverging learning style. Now, what is a diverging learning style? Now, these people are able to look at things from different perspectives. They're basically watchers. They tend to gather information and use imagination to solve problems. So they're best at viewing concrete situations at different viewpoints. So they're basically feeling also, and they're reflecting on it. So they're more going to be or more stronger in the arts because they're looking and thinking about a couple of things. Now, if you're between the watching and the thinking, you're watching something that is a feeling part, the processing part, and your thinking part is the feeling part, then you are in the assimilating learner. So what is an assimilating learner? Now, this person is going to be very logical, concise approach. Ideas and concepts are more important than people. They're more of that scientist type who want to, come up with all solutions and depend on technical data, analysis. They want everything in a very organized and logical form. So the learning style is very important for effectiveness in information and science careers. So if the child is more of an assimilator, he's going to be more into science. Now, if in your thinking the child is, in the feeling the child is in thinking, and in the way he's going to approach things, he's more into doing part, then he is a converger. And converger is basically, they are people who can solve problems. They will use the learning to find solutions to practical problems. They actually will give you all the answers. And they'll be very attracted to technical tasks and problems than social or interpersonal issues. And they're enablers. They'll enable specialist and technological abilities. So they like to experiment with new ideas, simulate, and work with practical applications. Your business people, they're more into this. Now, if your feeling is more of, it's more between feeling and doing, then you're an accommodator. An accommodator is basically a hands-on person. He has to do everything hands-on.
Kavita, just do a full screen from your bottom. Go on the bottom part of your, do a full screen. No. Come on the right. This one. Yeah. No, this one. Yes. Full screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you are in that accommodator, then accommodator is completely hands-on. He works basically on intuition rather than logic. They use other people's analysis. They prefer to take a practical, experiential approach. And they love challenges. So you have your mountain climbers, you have those daredevil act people, so they love new challenges, experiences, and they love carrying out plans. So they go more on the gut feeling rather than logical analysis. So you have this kind of people across. So you have 4 learning styles out here. You have the diverging kind, who basically like to think and talk about it. You have the assimilating type, who basically more on data type. The converging type, who's going to be coming up with a problem solver. And you have the accommodating type, who's going to be completely hands-on. So now, once you do this kind of testing with your students, you know exactly what to do with them, how to place them in a class. So these learning styles are very, very important. So once you come to all of these experiences, where I spoke about concrete experience, I spoke about reflective observation, I spoke about abstract conceptualization. Now, what is the active experimentation? So I showed you a video right now. Now, how can you use this video into your classroom? If you're a science teacher or any teacher, you can do this wonderful activity, the egg drop activity. Tell your students, if it falls, it should not crack. So what are you going to do? Give it to them and let them come together and work on it and tell you exactly how they will prevent the egg from being smashed. And in that process, of experiential based learning, they're going to be learning so many science concepts. Now, if eggs are allowed in your school, well and good. If they're not allowed, then I think you'll have to come up with some other solution as to what can work in that place. But now, after seeing that video, come back and see how you can work on this. I won't give the answer as to how you can do this experiment, but really something to think about. So we went to the learning styles, and I spoke to you about all these learning styles. but to test in the class, COPE's experiential learning cycle, if you want to test the cycle, they charge money for that. So I have come up with something very easy for you. Take the Honey and Mumford learning styles. They're based on COPE's research and they're completely free to use. Now, what I had done in my classes, I had made the students at the beginning of the year, when your students come to the class, take this test, and I had been able to segregate them. So where you have the diverger, Honey and Mumford's story will talk that they are divergers are nothing but reflectors. Assimilators are nothing but theorists. Converger is nothing but pragmatist. An accommodator is nothing but activist. So now those four entire learning styles becomes reflector, theorist, pragmatist, and activist. And after you get this, what very important is when you do grouping of your students for any projects, make sure that every grouping you have either one reflector, one theorist, one pragmatist, one activist, so that when you have the responses coming towards, you have a complete 360 degrees approach to any problem. And I had done it in my class. Let me tell you, the results have been awesome. Just one concern, make sure that you keep changing the students. Don't keep the same group throughout the year, because then they get very, very bored with that. But Honey and Mumford questionnaire is something I shared even with Gaurav, which you can pass it on to your principals. So you can do that at the beginning of the year to know what learning style does your child prefer. Now, before we do that, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to come on screen and I'm going to do a simple experiment with you. So now, first of all, quickly get those 2 sheets of paper. How do I bring myself? Yes. So I have got 2 blank sheet of papers. Do you all have sheet of papers with you? Any 2 sheets. You can take 2 newspapers, but they have to be identical. So do I have everyone?
They are putting on the chat box. Yeah, they have it. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have? Okay. So I'm going to start with the experiment. All of y'all will take just 2 sheets. Now, one sheet, I want you to crumple it completely. Crumple it. Okay. And you have this sheet now. Has everybody done that? Yes. So now I'm going to ask you a question. Which one is heavier? Let's call this A and let's call this B. Is A heavier than B or B is heavier than A? A, some say B, some say A. One has said both are same. Okay. So you say this is heavier, and it's like, because just by changing the shape, the weight will not change. If I'm standing or if I crouch myself or put it like this, my weight doesn't change. So therefore, definitely it remains the same. Okay. Now, I'm going to be just from here at this height, and whatever height you are, I want you to drop both the sides, both the papers, and see which one falls first. Okay. So we'll all start together. 1, 2, 3, start. Did A fall first or B fall first? A. Great, great. So now somebody's already come up with that. What is the reason for that? Absolutely. A, right. What's the reason for that? volume is less, okay? It has air resistance, exactly, smaller area, fantastic. You all are amazing teachers. So you've already hit it bang on. So now what did I do right now? I just gave you an experience. You had an experience, you reflected on it. I asked you certain questions. You came up with a concept. You came and told me air resistance. And now you will apply this into a new learning, okay? So this is nothing but what we did at experiential based learning. Now looking at that, I want you to tell me, why is experiential based learning important? After all the 3 experiences that you had, 2 videos and now an experiment, why is experiential based learning important for our students? I'm going to share the screen once again with my presentation. Okay. Yeah. So why is experiential learning very, very important? I just will see your reply. Just put it in the chat box, please. Okay, I've not been able to see it. Can you see the PowerPoint? Okay. Great. Memories is for a long time, learning by doing, it helps them retain, they'll remember what they saw exactly. So now you already know the benefits. So I'm just going to run it by. The most important, it bridges a gap between theory and practice. I talk to you about paper and you actually hold that paper, there's a huge difference. So it bridges a gap between theory and practice. Definitely increases engagement levels because you are doing it, a child is actually doing it. They're along with you all the time. They're not away from the class, they're with the class. Very important, it provides a safe learning environment, a demonstrable mindset change because you're actually bringing the child across to what the child needs to learn. So you bring it as a very set mind map to it. This delivers exceptional return on investment, enables personalized learning, as I said, because you've got 4 learning styles, and based on these learning styles, you will offer a couple of things to them. And these are the resources that I have used for making sure that you get about experiential based learning. And as I said, I'll be sharing also the questionnaire to use in the classroom for your students.
You want to stop sharing?
Yeah.
You're done with sharing?
Yeah, I've stopped sharing.
Okay, perfect. So what do you want now to open up for Q&A largely?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so fantastic. So what we'll do is, as we have said earlier, dear participants, that we'll go by a show of hands, or you may possibly show me a reaction on the window, right? So I have a, but before I go there, Kavita ji, my request will be that can we share this PPT of yours, because a lot of them are asking now on the window. Definitely. And I'm sure that question will come any which way. So don't worry, all of you, we will share this presentation with your principal or even on your IDs which are given to us. So don't worry, all of you will receive the presentation. Honestly, that is one thing off the shelf, number 1. So number 2 is, we've got questions. Obviously, there are a lot of them. So I'll go step by step, and I will, as I said, I will do a little sequencing. So which is, I will unmute you, and then you can ask the question, okay? And I will also be announcing the sequence of the question. So example, my first question is from Miss Aparna Mulande. She can ask the question. Aparna ji. Hold on. Yeah, please. Aparna, can you unmute yourself and ask the question? I have unmuted you. What will happen is, okay, so I'm giving the second person chance. Sangeeta Srivastava, if you can ask your question. Sangeeta Srivastava. So this will again. So anyone who is wanting to ask question, give me a moment. Let me unmute you all once, because then what will happen is that it will allow you all to unmute. So good. Now what I have done is that I have given you all the option to unmute yourself. So if firstly show of hand, which is Aparna Mulinde, you can ask your question. If Aparna is not there, Raman Sharma.
Yes.
Raman ji, पूछिए अपना question.
No.
अच्छा, आपने वो गलती से हाथ उठा दिया था क्या?
Yes.
हाँ, समझ गया.
I got it.
कोई बात नहीं. So okay.
Hello.
Sir,
If
I
I
have
can
one
ask-
question.
Hold on. So everyone will do it in a. आप वो lower hand वाला भूल जाइए. आपके सबके में reaction आ रहा है? ये reactions आ रहा है? हाँ. So जिसके में ये reaction वाला part आ रहा है, वो अपना हाथ उठाइएगा. In terms of the reaction, I will just remove you from the spotlight. है ना? आप गैलरी व्यू पे आ जाता हूँ मैं. तो गैलरी व्यू में आप लोग जैसे कि रिएक्शन देखिए, मैं दिखा देता हूँ आपको. ये वाला जो रिएक्शन करेगा, I can take up that question. Gurmeet Kaur, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
पूछिए.
How can we use this experiential learning in English subject?
Okay. अपने आप को फिर म्यूट कर लीजिएगा बाकी लोग.
Sir, I just want to know how can we use this experiential learning in English subject while teaching literature or grammar?
So I understood that. Thank you, Pooja. Now, it depends upon what poetry or prose that you're going to take across. Now, suppose you have let me take a simple poem, the daffodils that we've all learned. I'm sure everybody knows about a daffodil. If you show a video about a daffodil, then actually the children can relate to the seeing of a daffodil, and then you start with your poem. Then they will relate to it. But if you speak about daffodils and they've never been seen a daffodil anywhere, like I'm from Mumbai, I don't think I've seen a daffodil anywhere. So it depends upon giving them the kind of experience. For example, if you're doing a prose on maybe certain Shakespeare, then giving them actually some scenes of a movie and showing it to them, yes, it works.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Role plays, dramas, they also work.
वैशाली महाजन, your question. मैं आता हूँ सबके पास. आप लोग हाँ बस reactions create. अर्पिता सोनी, उसके बाद I will come to you. Don't worry. I have seen your show of hand. Simarjeet Kaur, I'll come to you next after that. Vaishali Mahajan, can you ask your question? If you have a question? No. Okay. I will come next to Arpita Soni. Please go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
You're audible.
हाँ मैम, एक्चुअली मैम इट्स वेरी वीक स्टूडेंट, तो उन लोगों को कैसे हम एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग से बेटर कर सकते हैं इन माय सब्जेक्ट फिजिक्स.
So Arpita, I also teach physics, and for weak students experiential learning is the best because जब उसका hands on learning होगा ना, कुछ भी experiment बनाने को कहो. So when you're doing concepts, like अभी हमने जो पेपर का concept किया था, तो वो air resistance था. ओके तो कोई भी आप टॉपिक हो ना, अगर उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट से करवाओगे ना, बच्चा खुद एक्सपेरिमेंट करेगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली दे लर्न. तो फॉर वीक स्टूडेंट्स एक्सपीरियंशियल इज द बेस्ट थिंग टू डू. उनके लिए सब उनको खुद एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करने देना.
चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. आई हैव अनम्यूटेड यू. सिमरजीत कौर.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir, and good evening, ma'am.
I just have one question, that is, how can we make a learning adaptive for all, especially in this ongoing classes or online classes? There are different type of students we are dealing with. So can you please guide me that how can we cater for the needs of all types of students during these sessions?
So now, first of all, I've given you the learning styles. You do the questionnaire, wo to aap kar sakte ho, which are the things, and you'll know the students or whatever it is. Based on how many students in your class are activists, theorists, pragmatists, वो हिसाब से आप ना design worksheets accordingly for them. So the worksheet should be multi-level worksheets. वो आप कीजिए. And for example, जो activist है उनको they want hands-on. तो उनके लिए कुछ do some project, hands-on project. जो theorist है उनको कुछ thinking questions दीजिए. So you can cater to all of them just using this platform itself. So show a video, attach a video, give some multi-level worksheets, attach some thinking questions to them. This all will help.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll definitely do that. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Ruby Kumari. Ruby, you have a question? Ruby, आपके पास question है? आप do you have a question, Ruby?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
पूछिए, Ruby.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, what can we do for those students who don't want and don't like study more? How can we train them?
Okay, so Ruby, once the lockdown finishes, no, what do you teach right now? Which subject?
Maths.
Okay, so very, very important. You do maths outside the classroom. Don't do maths inside the classroom. For example, when you're doing area, perimeter, na, unko na building ka school ka boundary de do, bolo ki calculate the boundary and come back to me. So unko take them outside the classroom for 1 week and then you come back and see what happens.
Means practically.
Practical.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jaya Parekh, your question.
Yeah, hi. So thanks, Kavita. It was a wonderful learning for me and many from my team. What I wanted to ask is that not just the academic subjects, but can the moral values, ethics like compassion, care for nature, etc., also be instilled through experiential learning? Because here the child has to do things and to process the thinking and realize that what we do has an impact on nature and other people. So can it be directly implemented in non-academic learning as well, especially
I
value?
think, Jaya, you already are doing quite a good job, and your school, I know where it is. So the minute you go out and you have certain, which you're already doing quite a lot of services to the community. So when you have these forums to do service to community, it's nothing but experiential based learning, where you tie up with NGOs and organizations and actually have the child go there and teach or be part of that organization. That is nothing but experiential based learning. So yes, that is very much then is already present in your school.
Thank you, Kavita.
Okay, Priyanka, your question. Priyanka, you want to ask a question? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question. But first, I'd like to interrupt that. Ma'am told that for maths, we should set the students free to go out and find out the perimeter of the building. Do you think, is it possible, is it feasible for letting all the students go out at once? Suppose if I am doing in my class, somebody else is doing in another class. Is it practically possible?
So it depends. See, everybody's situation is different. Right now, I'm heading a school with 3,000 students. With 3,000 students, I have to plan it across. So I can't have every day, but I can have one session in the, say, music laboratory, or maybe one session outside the classroom, or maybe in a foyer. It cannot be outside all the time. So it depends upon what my school layout is. If I'm a school with just 200, 300 students, then it's easier. But if I'm a school with around 3,000 students, then I have to plan it very well, ma'am. But because the situation in her case was that the students were just not interested in mathematics, then that hands-on activity and going out, something had to be important. So that it depends upon how many students also are there, and you can even bring in certain material from outside into the class. And I would say if you really want to learn maths, have a what do you call, have a field day or have a fun fair. That's the best way.
Okay.
Raman Sharma, your question. Raman Sharma.
Yes, sir.
आपके पास क्वेश्चन है कोई या फिर हाथ ऐसे गलती से उठ गया?
ऐसे तो गलती से उठ गया था.
चलिए गलती
But
से
I
कोई
can
बात नहीं,
ask.
कोई बात नहीं. पर आपके पास
to
क्वेश्चन
say-
है तो गलती को सुधार लीजिए, टाइम है आपके पास.
No. Just I want to say that in grammar, some teacher was asking here, how we can show them the practicality in that. Yes, suppose we are just telling them about the prepositions and all. We can some make actions. There are some activities. We can show them by actions. So
Fair enough.
that way we can make it more practical.
Your observation, fair enough. I respect
yes.
that. Miraj Choksi. Miraj, you have a question?
Yes, thank you so much, sir. And thank you, ma'am, firstly. A very good evening to all of you present here. Actually, ma'am, I don't want to limit my question to some particular subject. My question is that as most of us are conducting online classes these days, so how do we, take this experiential based learning in online classes? Because we are not physically present under one roof.
Good question. Good question.
So, sir, if you see my presentation, I also did everything experiential based right now with you all.
Yes, ma'am.
So I did 3 things with you all. I did 2 true videos and 1 I did an experiment. And so if I tell you all that have this material ready before I begin my class, I can actually do experiential based learning. I can do simple experiments also, and then ask them to reflect on what were they feeling. So how I asked you which one is heavier, which one is lighter. The
Yes,
same way you
ma'am.
can do with your students.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good question, Miraj. Sangeeta Srivastava ji.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sangeeta Srivastava, ma'am.
Pardon, sir. I have raised my hand. This is Sangeeta Dhiman, this side. Sir.
हाँ चलिए पूछ लीजिए, सही कोई भी संगीता है पूछ लेते हैं. चलिए पूछिए.
First of all, I just thank you, ma'am, for such a lovely, wonderful session because I have learned a lot from you, ma'am, today. My question was just resembling that I am also teaching maths, and how is it possible with the naughty students to give them experimental behavior outside the class, ma'am?
So your thing is that how do you handle
naughty students,
naughty kids?
So I know. I guess so. Make them only in charge of the experiment, no?
Yeah, ma'am.
Make them in charge of it.
Chaliye, next
yeah,
question.
Ma'am, because I'm also very practical in nature. I want to do something practical outside the class. Very much. Most of things are going in my mind, but due to my restrictions and due to the naughtiest nature of my students,
बच्चे तो naughty होते हैं, संगीता जी. बच्चे तो naughty होते हैं.
Yes, we are your activists.
अब आपको तो एज अ टीचर इंश्योर करना पड़ेगा कि उनकी नॉटीनेस को कन्वर्ट करिए पॉजिटिव एनर्जी की तरफ. और क्या, यही तो टीचर की कला होती है. चलिए उमेश नील जी. उमेश नील. उमेश नील. उमेश नील जी हैं. उमेश नील. सॉरी आई वाज उमेश नील है हमारे साथ. उमेश नील.
Yes, sir.
क्वेश्चन पूछना है या गलती से उड़ गया?
Yes, sir.
गलती से
No. I'm asking one question.
पूछिए.
That we are using experiential learning. Of the time it is difficult as a language teacher to present them while video or show reels to do the practical things according to language. Yes.
I'm sorry, sir. You said that is it difficult to use practical things?
Yes, because we are showing them show reels and videos, okay, but by showing that one also they can easily see or they can watching. But when we are doing actually regarding to literature and all these things, regarding especially to historical things, it is possible to give them that scenario.
Okay, so historical. Sir,
Yes,
I know
yes.
you're talking about videos and all that.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes.
even, you know, having children at home also, act as one historical character and tell them to just, you know, just present it and make that child just talk about that character. That becomes experiential based learning, because the other people are going to experience them dressed up in that character and are going to ask
Yes.
questions. So you can have that kind of activity also for your students of for
Okay.
history.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Roshan Patel, your question, and after
Yeah.
that, Jaya Sood.
Yeah, hi Kavita, this is Roshan here. You know what, I have an observation. I had a school. So how do we ascertain the learning styles of the teachers first? Whether they are able to grasp and whether they are able to implement. So, you know.
Right. So, ma'am, what happens with teachers is, first of all, you need to train them, and then you need to now, you need to observe them also in the class. That's very, very important, because teachers cannot, I'm sure they're going to be jumping from one learning style to another style, depending upon the topic that they're going to be going with the student.
Satyapal, mute yourself.
So, is there a rubric or something for the teachers too? As you said, there is a
So, ma'am, the
identification rubric
questionnaire
for
can be used by
students.
us also, because even I have used a questionnaire for myself too,
Oh,
to understand
great,
my learning
great.
style. So,
Okay,
because
great.
we are also lifelong learners, so you
Great,
can use
great.
the same questionnaire for the teachers, and then
Right.
you can work it out.
And you'll be sharing this questionnaire
Yes,
with
ma'am.
us,
Today,
right?
right now itself, I'll be sending it to Gaurav, sir.
Thank you for the
Jaya,
lovely
Jaya
session.
Sood,
Thank
your
you.
question. Jaya Sood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We come to
Good
Satyapal. We'll come to you after that.
Good evening, ma'am and sir.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for the enlightening session.
Thank you.
Ma'am, in the
Most welcome.
beginning, the first sentence actually struck my mind, because I'm a science teacher, where you said that people generally confuse the experiential learning with the experimental learning. I think we cannot separate both the things from one another in respect to science, if we say, because the experiential learning will be the experiment only. So how can we like distinguish between
Okay,
these
so
two
I'll tell you
words?
right now, ma'am. Experimental means when you do an experiment and you've left it there. But after the experiment, when I ask you thinking questions, when I ask you to reflect on your experience, on your experiment, I ask you to abstract, take the knowledge from there, and then I ask you to implement a new situation, it becomes experiential based. So when I ask you, I make you do an experiment of the two papers and I just leave you there. Then that is called just experimental. But if I take it further and ask you why do you think so? What is the reason? And I keep on probing questions and thinking questions, it becomes experiential based.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Satyapal. Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I'm a social science teacher. So could you please tell me some tips that we can implement in experience type of learning in social science?
So social science is a lot, because when you go in for your field trips, your educational excursions, which every school has every year, I think a lot of experiential learning happens there itself, because it's lifelong experiences. Okay. Then also when you have your annual day, you're doing a lot of experiential based learning, because your dramas can be based on periodicals and all those periods. So social science has maximum experiential based learning, because you actually, if you're even doing a literature and you go to that scenario and you actually do a role play or a drama on that, the feeling part is very strong. So you know what exactly the other person might have experienced. So yes, in social sciences lends itself beautifully to experiential based learning.
Thank you, Satyapal. Yeah. Vijeta Thakur, your question.
Yes, sir.
You have a question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So, how can we use experiential learning algebra? I'm a maths teacher. So, this question generally comes in my mind. How can we use it in algebra?
Fair enough. Let them answer it. Okay.
So that's wonderful. You know what? You go to tell the child to climb steps, and then on the steps you put somewhere, suppose you've got 8 steps. At that 0 fourth step, call it 0, and then put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, minus 1, 2, 3 below, and then keep on telling them go up, go down, this, that. When they experience all of this, that is experiential based learning.
Okay, in algebra, but I think this is arithmetic.
Sorry, in teachers I told you, but in algebra also, if you do an x and y and your linear equations and your quadratic equations, then you start linking it your problems to real life problems. Take real life problems, and that you'll have to see into the newspapers for some real life problems. I know that age problems you have, or the food and the number of days it can work, but actually take the experience from a lockdown itself. I had so many kgs of, pulses, and you were at home for 60 days. How many things do you think would have worked? Something like that. You work it out. You actually give hands-on real examples.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Manoj Jain. Manoj Jain, you have a question?
Yes, sir. So my question is, how we can implement this experiential learning in the higher classes as we are lacking with the time, especially the 10th and 12th class.
So, sir, because I use experiential learning, I teach the higher classes only. And because I teach physics using these methods, they learn the concept so easily that it's easier for me to finish portion faster. If I finish portion faster.
But then we can take only, yes, but we can take only 1 or 2 or twice, but how long it is?
So it can be any small thing, right? I'm going to show you with a small paper. In class when I'm doing reflection, refraction, I actually have just simple
it's possible in science subject.
Manojji, you are in a bad zone. We are unable to listen to you. You're in a bad zone of network. Hello. Is he audible? Kavita ji?
Hello.
So, listen. Hello, Manojji. Now, certain topics you can do experiential based learning. For example, say income tax or banking, all those topics, you can actually take them and show them through a bank, or ask them that your work is go visit a bank, take a note of this. Next we're going to discuss all this, and then take the chapter ahead.
Yes,
or compound interest or simple interest. So these topics, especially with these every day, just do a graph. It gets done, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Dinesh Mishra. दिनेश मिश्रा, क्वेश्चन है आपके पास?
सर
पूछिए।
क्वेश्चन है लेकिन जस्ट अभी मनोज सर ने पूछ लिया।
वेरी गुड, नो प्रॉब्लम, फिर अच्छा रहा। थैंक यू। ओके, संदीप।
सर हम
पूनम जी आपके पास क्वेश्चन है? पूनम जी?
Yes, sir. I want to ask one question. Yes, I want to ask one question, Ma'am Kavita. Ma'am Kavita, just tell me that in a class of 50 students, we are handling 50 students in a class. So just tell me what things or what measures we should take in order to divide the class. आपने बताया था ग्रुप्स में बांट दीजिए पहले, तो वो ग्रुप्स में बांटने का क्या हम क्या क्वेश्चन के थ्रू करें, किस तरीके से हम उनको डिवाइड कर सकते हैं बच्चों को?
So मैम, जब हम एक्टिविटीज करते हैं तो हम ग्रुप्स में बच्चों को डिवाइड करते हैं। तो हमारा अगर सपोज इन 50 के क्लास में अगर आपके पास से 10-15 थ्योरिस्ट आए, 20 प्रैग्मेटिस्ट आ गए, कम बच्चे रिफ्लेक्टिव में आ गए, तो फिर यू नो दैट रिफ्लेक्टिव वो 10 बच्चे मुझे वो 10 ग्रुप में बांटने हैं। बट इन अ क्लास आई हैव मोर ऑफ दीज काइंड ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, तो एवरी ग्रुप में एक लर्निंग स्टाइल का बच्चा होना चाहिए ताकि it becomes easy for you to get a good project at the back, given back to you.
Ma'am, I agree, but I want to know किस तरीके से, मतलब क्या यूज किया जाए उनको हमें पहचानने के लिए, so that we can judge them. Okay, so that
questionnaire answers लिखेंगे.
Okay.
उस पे rubrics भी है.
Okay, fine.
तो based on that बच्चों का क्या स्कोर हुआ है?
वर्षा देवघरे
क्या क्वेश्चनर स्कोर हुआ है?
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I just want a question. Being an English teacher, I too wish and intend to do a lot more experiments with my subject and a topic. But due to unable to do so, as well as make my
I think आपका network stable नहीं है.
constant. Could you please guide us?
Videos going around. If that you start in the class, definitely.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. आपका जो डिस्प्ले नाम है वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. आपकी नेक में कुछ बंधा हुआ है. आप क्वेश्चन पूछ लीजिए.
Hello.
पूछिए मैम.
My name is Padma Kalani.
Yeah, Padma. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I just want to ask sir regarding English. मैं English teacher हूँ और मुझे अगर बच्चे को ऐसे लर्न करवाना है एंड बच्चे यूजुअली हायर क्लासेस के ही बोलते हैं कौन सा इम्पोर्टेंट है मैम वो बता दीजिए, बस वो एक या दो लर्न कर लेंगे. बच्चे खुद से
मैम ऐसे लर्न कर रहे हैं तो इट्स वेरी रॉन्ग, बिकॉज वो क्रिएटिविटी जो होनी चाहिए ना वही हमने निकाल दिया बच्चों से.
वही चीज उनके अंदर क्रिएटिविटी कैसे डेवलप कर सकती हूँ?
सो क्रिएटिविटी मैम उसके लिए भी ना आपको फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक फॉर्मेट देना पड़ेगा कि ऐसे का फॉर्मेट क्या क्या होता है. वो डेफिनेटली डिस्क्रिप्टिव, नरेटिव, क्या क्या, व्हाट आर्गुमेंटेटिव, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एसे आर यू गोइंग टू मेक द चाइल्ड राइट. उसके बाद यू गोइंग टू हैव real life topic where you're going to ask them to think about it. For example, if you're starting about a describing something, तो ये describing अभी जो COVID situation है तो describe what happened in your building because of COVID situation. तो वो इतना बच्चा ऑटोमेटिक बोलेगा मेरे बिल्डिंग में ये हुआ था, सिक्योरिटी ये हुआ था, किसी की मेरे बिल्डिंग में 2 people got this thing. Minute they start doing all of this, start them to write down. So you started with what is your build. So you're taking it from a to take Avengers.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
हाँ पूछिए.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am.
पूछिए.
I had one doubt that I am into class observations and all stuff. So many a times I have noticed that the teachers are into a lot of mechanical and monotonous teaching methods. They think that once they have taught the chapter, the teaching ends. But what I feel is the teaching process doesn't end till the child has learned it well. So in that case, when the self-motivation factor is missing, how can we encourage the teachers?
So you know what? Sometimes actually have, I don't know if you have if you have cameras in your classroom, actually show them a recording of their own class. And one more thing, I don't know whether to say it or not, but you can always take feedback from your students about teachers sometime. Not the whole school, but take a 10th standard students.
Yes,
share the feedback with the teachers. Sometimes an eye-opener is also important.
Yes,
so when they come to know this, they realize that my students are happy being away from me, and that sometimes hurts you a lot as a teacher.
Yes.
So do this. If worse come to worse, sometimes even record a class and show it to them.
Yes, ma'am. This is nice, ma'am.
Chali, Aurelia Chand. Chand, you have a question, ma'am? Aurelia Chand. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? If not, Amarnath ji, your question?
Yeah, ma'am, Ms. Kavita, good evening. Mr. Gaurav, good evening. So I'm a principal now. So I have a very unique question to ask. The parents, randomly phone us. So when we tell our teachers to, do some like experiential learning with logical thinking, parents phone me ki we want more book-based knowledge. Ki kehte ki today a teacher didn't teach from this chapter, she showed something. So I did try to convince parents that today's generation we need to, we need to tell them to, think logically. But there are many parents who just want book-based knowledge, ma'am. What could I tell them? Thank you.
So, in such a case, you have to parent orientation and actually make them experience the learning. Make them experience, do something in the class. When you start an orientation, start with something which they will remember for a lifetime. I can't think of an activity right now, but you can really do something to begin with, and then did you remember this? So if you remember this right now, think of how your children will remember this even 10 years from now. And with that kind of activity, you can then take it, progress it. And obviously with experiential based learning, you have directed questions, guiding the children, facilitating the learning. Those questions can be shared with the parents later on.
Thanks a lot.
Shejal Singh, after that, Chirashri Lalwani.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. My question is, I just want to clear my point on perceptual continuum and processing continuum. How we can apply these things in our teaching learning process?
So the perception continuum is what kind of feelings are you experiencing while doing it? So are you more into thinking about it, or more about processing is how are we approaching a task? Are you just going to be reflecting, or are you going to be actively working on it? So based on these two continuums where they intersect, you get these 4 quadrants, and those 4 quadrants are your learning styles.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Chirashri Lalwani. After that, I
yes.
come Anvay Arun. After
Yes.
Ma'am,
one thing I want to ask.
अभी रुक जाइए इसके बाद Chirashri Lalwani.
Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am. I just want to ask you one question. Like right now, we are also not sure when the school will start. Okay, and as a social science teacher, you know that the syllabus is so vast, and this experimental learning, it is really very useful. But how far we will able to do in this particular session? Can you please help me? How far we will able to do it?
Okay. So
because it is not.
Yeah,
Hello?
I understand. Yeah.
Ma'am, actually there is the V2 Lavina Lalwani is also there, and Chirashri Lalwani is also there.
Very good, Lalwani sisters. Chaliye, very good. Fantastic.
Okay, so I'll tell you how we can work on it. Because you can now do flipped classrooms. So you can send links to certain do at home experiments, watch video at home, that kind of thing, or record so-and-so conversation of yours or something at home, and then upload it on the portal. So I'm sure you're using a portal, like for example, they're using Microsoft Teams, so you can upload assignments there. So if you can do a flipped classroom, share this and tell them to review it and come back later on.
I have a relevant question, ma'am. I have a relevant question if I can ask.
Ma'am, after Anvay. After Mr. Anvay.
Thank you, Kavita ma'am and Gaurav sir. First of all, for wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I have some experience related to this, that from last few years I am giving the summer assignment based on this learning only. But I was not knowing that it is experiential learning. But I have found that some of the students, after summer joining the school, they used to copy down the thing which other students have done. So what can be done in that case?
Okay. So what you can do is, you can have them record a video of them doing the experiment and say, I'm going to see the recording of that video. And then afterwards, take the things.
Yes. Better suggestion, I think. Thank you.
Lavina ji, aap pooch sakti hain aap.
Yes, sir. So actually, I just wanted to know, with the current scenario, now you all are educational experts. So I want to know that I'm teaching English language. So along with the LSRW session, मैं 3-4 session reading and listening ये skills लेती हूँ. उसके बाद मैं Rolex लूँगी. I take a presentation. I give some presentation many a times. So now in the current scenario, what I will have to reduce, my syllabus or the activities? Means out of the lessons, if I've got 10 lessons to complete in my first part, now I need to reduce. What should I reduce? I should reduce my syllabus, because if I reduce my syllabus, then the next class when my student goes next year, I feel that it is a loss to him, because that level of learning cannot go with him to that class. So in that, how you can guide us?
Okay, so you have a very practical situation which is going to be faced by every single person. Reducing syllabus does not work. Okay, activities, as I said before, we can do flipped classrooms. So what you can do is you can give the activity as homework, where they do it at home and they upload it for you. So you're not doing.
Ma'am, we are doing it, but that we are getting the feedback also from 50% of the students. What about the remaining, actually, whom we have to work with?
Okay, so that's going to be a challenge. So what you can do is, we are a very mark-oriented country. So assign marks. Because when you call out the parent and say there are 10 marks on it and the child is losing the mark, the parent suddenly starts working on it. So we have to now use that strategy also.
Ma'am, we have started strategy also, and our management is also committed that we are giving 5 to 10 marks as a seed. नहीं, इसलिए सर कि अभी जो सिनेरियो है, मैं ना सिलेबस रिड्यूस करना चाहती हूँ और मैं एक्टिविटीज के साथ भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करना चाहती हूँ. तो मतलब इन दैट सिनेरियो, एज अ एजुकेशनल एक्सपर्ट, हाउ यू वुड एडवाइस?
So,
अगर मुझे कविता जी अलाउ करें तो मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि देखिए, there's something called life balance. There's something called in life balance, और वो balance आपको ही इनिशिएट करना पड़ेगा अपने हिसाब से, राइट? और वो आपका
but educate, you are the expert.
नहीं, मैं I will still leave it to Kavita ji if you have to say anything. बताइए.
No. So I just say that, reframe your activities. Everything does not need to be, done within the classroom. As I said before, do it after the classroom, before the classroom. So just rework every single thing. For example, between teachers also share it. अगर मैंने ये किया तो तुम ये करो. So sharing, teamwork will work out here.
I'll give it a try, definitely, ma'am.
I tried.
Deepa Labhi, your question. Deepa, if you have a question.
Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome. Deepa Labhi, your question.
Yes.
Please पूछिए.
My question is, am I audible, sir?
जी, आप हैं audible. पूछिए.
Okay, yes. Sir, my question is that whenever we are teaching, so much of the students, they are interested in all the experimental based learning. But many students, they don't pay attention what the things are going in the class. Okay, so for that thing, what we can do? Even we are interested in this, because ultimately we want that the output should be good.
Good question, Kavita ji.
Okay, so here as a teacher, we need to now make sure that we are equally engaging. So you have to work on your own self also, as to how can you make yourself really attractive to your students, so that they just want to see and know every single thing that you're doing. So try to see how to make your class very, very active and passionate.
Aurelia Chand, I'm asking you all over again if you can ask your question.
Yes, sir. I'm
Hello.
going to ask.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Aurelia Chand. Mansi ji, abhi baad mein, please. Aurelia Chand, please ask your question.
Hello. Hello.
कौन बोल रहा है? Aurelia, आप पूछ सकती हैं मैम, please. Aurelia Chand. Anwar Khan. Anwar ji, would you like to ask the question? Menon. Miss Menon कोई है? आप कोई क्वेश्चन है आपके पास मेनन जी?
Yes, sir.
पूछिए. Yes, पूछिए.
Hello. Sir, actually, most of the time, this experiential learning and activity-based learning, both are getting clumsy or rather overlapping.
Okay.
Actually, both are the same or different.
So, see, activity is also part of experiential based learning, because you either do an activity like we just did right now, you do an experiment, or you just have some sort of an activity is also an experience, as part of experiential based learning. So it's nothing different as such. What I said before also, experiential is after you have an activity, what kind of questions are you putting forth to your students for them to come up to some conclusions about a concept? So that abstract concepts have to be coming out from any activity.
Because Kavita ji, if I can add, if it is not activity, then it's dreaming. Obviously, it has to be it has to be experienced, means you have to experience it in order to learn from it, right? Isn't it? Otherwise, you're daydreaming. Isn't it?
Sir, excuse me, sir, language teacher. So I think we have to let the children dream also a little bit.
No, no problem.
All part,
So firstly, did I say that dreaming is bad or good? No, absolutely not. There is, but my point was activity. When you act, for example, when I used to play cricket, I played it to a very certain level. I used to think about all the strategy about my match the next day, which was used to come in our dreams. Many of the boys or teachers would agree to me that we used to think about the next day match. How will I plan? How do I plot? How do I do this? But was that a real match? No, it wasn't a real match. When we went on the ground and played the match, it was a real match for us, right? Which could have been not exactly the way we dreamt about it for that. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one more doubt. Actually, is it limits in the classroom, or whether we have to take it to home for future, actually, this experiential learning?
Ma'am, experiential based learning is part of your everyday classroom, actually, whether it's inside or outside the class. So when you have an experience, as I said before, it's a lifetime learning.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your cooperation.
Yeah, Ruby Kumari, your question? Ruby Kumari. Pulkit, you have a question? Pulkit Tanwar?
Yes, sir. I have a question. Can I ask now?
Yes, sir.
Pulkit, puchiye.
Yes, sir.
Puchiye, Pulkit.
First of all, thanks for such a great session, ma'am.
Most welcome, Pulkit. Puchiye question, puchiye.
Yes. I am Pulkit from Bhiwani Saraswati Vidya Vihar School from Haryana. I have a question, ma'am. That as you suggested, we must take student outside the classroom for even mathematics learning, like you gave an example to calculate the perimeter of the school building. But I want to ask, how can we, even if we are inside the classroom, how can we create experiential learning for the students? Because it is not that every time we can take student outside. Is there any advice from you for these?
Yeah, so you can take certain materials, certain things to class. For example, you can take certain matchsticks to the class to teach them tens and ones. You can take certain, so many things are happening out there. For example, for geometry, you actually can take a paper and create shapes out of that paper, different shapes. So tanagrams and all that thing that you make. So everything that when this child is doing that in the class, that becomes experiential based learning.
Simi Goyal.
Okay.
Simi
yes,
Goyal.
Sir. Good evening. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Yes. Good evening, ma'am and sir. Thanks for this wonderful session. Ma'am, my question is, would you please like to tell, ma'am, would you please like to tell how this learning style can be used efficiently while teaching accountancy?
Okay, accountancy. So for example, if I have to teach accountancy, if I can, I'm sure that you're going to be showing them certain, actually how accounts of different organizations are. You'll be taking certain practical examples also of that. So you can have students play with what is
I would say
credit.
I think what you can do is, Kavita ji, because I've been an account student. Simi, the best part
yes,
is
sir.
The best part will be that you can give them some case studies to start with. So example, and I can give you a very simple example. So example, if they are a country, if they are supposed to run India as a country or a state as a state they have to run, what will be, so while they are looking at, say, India, obviously they can divide India into, say, broader halves, which is southern part of the country. So if you know the economics of India, in India, the majority of India's GDP is contributed by the southern 5 states of the country. The majority of the northern country, which is northern India, is actually a consumption-based economy there. Apart from very limited crops, which we have in Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, the majority of the economy comes from. So example, this is a practical example. When they will do it, they will learn accountancy far more better, if I may say. It will be a real learning of how accountancy at a country level, at a city level, or at a district level is applied. That's my answer to it. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot.
Good evening, ma'am.
Vijeta Thakur. Vijeta Thakur.
Sir, Shipra Dave, can I ask a question?
बिना विजय शिप्रा आपने हाथ वगैरह नहीं उठाया जिसको बोलते हैं?
Sir, I already raised my hand earlier.
आपने किया था, चलिए पूछ लीजिए, चलिए पूछ लीजिए.
So first of all, I would like to thank you for the wonderful and informative session.
Most welcome.
Yeah. Sir, I am Shipra Dave from the Shantiniketan school. So my question is, actually we all are bound to complete the syllabus along with the other CCA activities. So if you're talking about the experiential learning, is it practically possible to go on with that? Means, will you please guide me on that?
So Shipra, today what is our focus? Is the focus just completing syllabus, or is that children have learned?
Obviously learning, ma'am.
So then therefore, now we have to see how we smartly include it. As I told you before, I've been teaching for the past 20 years and I've been using experiential based learning. So whenever I go to class also, for example, if I'm teaching refraction, think about 15-20 prisms. And I'll tell them, stand near the window and see what you see out here. The minute they see that rainbow 7 colors, I say that is dispersion.
Yeah.
And then I'll start, okay, what is the definition of dispersion? So this is experiential based learning where students are experimenting and I ask questions and I come to the thing, and then afterwards it becomes very easy for me to take it ahead from there. So it's simple. It's very, very simple. What material, what manipulatives are you going to choose for your class? All you need is a lot of time in lesson planning, which you have to sacrifice. Abhi aap ghar pe ho, so think of how to make your lesson plans experience.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Sir, good evening, madam. Sir, can I ask?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
पूछ लीजिए, and let me ask the question. Let me quickly make this announcement. Thank you, Kavita ji. When I say thank you, we are not completing. We are taking 2 more questions. We are already at 5:29, so I would like to complete this at sharp 5:30. That is the time we were supposed to close this. So before we go there, I would like to, on behalf of everyone who is present so far, thank you for your time, valuable time. In fact, you took up very varied questions. I personally feel experiential learning as a subject is a very, very diverse subject because it can be asked from a maths teacher. I mean, a maths teacher can ask you the same question, how is it relevant for a maths student, and as wide as maths to accountancy to social science. So I think you took up all the question very wonderfully well, which I'm sure everyone in the who's attending it will appreciate that. What I'm going to do is, there are a lot of other questions, but I will request we keep those questions, I mean, possibly for some other time, because there are around 100 more questions. So it will be very difficult if I take few of them and I do not take other of them. What I will do is, we will send you the presentation used by Kavita ji, number 1. We'll send you the form which is supposed to be sent to you. So all the literature which is supposed to be sent, we'll send it to you. Kavita ji is a very active social media, if I may say, leader. So उनके पास आप Twitter पे उनको follow करिए, LinkedIn पे उससे connect करिए, और ये सब आपको खुद करना चाहिए. तो आप उनके साथ personally अपना एक repo बना सकते हैं. I'm sure she'll be more than happy to answer your question, जो भी रह जाते हैं इसके बाद. ठीक है ना? तो I think आप जो lady question पूछ रही थी, कृपया आप अपना question पूछ लीजिए. उसके बाद हम लोग एक और question लेंगे, वो है हेमा लोहार मैम का, and that will be the final question. ठीक है? चलिए. आप जो भी पूछ रहा था क्वेश्चन, मैं उनका नाम भूल गया हूँ. हेमा जी, आपको पूछना है, अन्यथा आप पूछ लीजिए. हेमा लोहार.
Sir, one question from my side, please.
Sir.
अभी हेमा जी इसके बाद फिर आपसे आते हैं. ओके, चलिए 5 क्वेश्चन कर देते हैं. 5 क्वेश्चन, चलिए.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking the question. First of all, thank you, ma'am and sir, for this session. And my question is, actually, in the last year, I'm teaching biology, and I did this experiential learning in my classroom. So I took them to garden and the garden area of the school for learning inflorescence, flower structure, their arrangement of leaves and vanishing, etc. So half of the session I was very successful with this learning, with this method, but after that I realized that I couldn't finish my syllabus on time, so I have to skip all these experiments and I have to rush for this completion of my syllabus. So what can I do in that case?
So now when you take the students out, you have to time yourself. You have to say 15 minutes is 15 minutes is all I'm going to give you. Then afterwards, how Gaurav is talking to you about questions, you have questions, you pose it to me and I will answer it in maybe a proxy class or maybe some other class or revision class. So you have to time yourself. Even when I do experiments, I time myself. 15 minutes is all that I'm going to give to this. And after that, I'm going to go back to whatever I have to do later on. Maybe numericals or maybe questions on something else.
Classic example.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Good evening.
Can I ask one question, sir, please?
Hello.
Hold
Just
on,
1 minute. Just
hold on,
1 minute.
hold on. आवाज पहले सब लोग नीचे करिए. हाँ. अब मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ.
Can I ask one question, sir?
मैम अभी मैंने आपसे बोला ना, आप 1 मिनट बोलिए नहीं. मैं पूछ रहा हूँ किसको क्वेश्चन करना है, वो क्वेश्चन करेगा. ओके? डिम्पी कालरा क्वेश्चन पूछेंगी. चलिए. डिम्पी कालरा, आपके पास क्वेश्चन है? नहीं है. आशुतोष जी पूछिए.
Good evening, ma'am. Myself, Ashutosh Kumar Singh, and I am a physics teacher. I want to know that how can we use experiential learning to describe potential difference?
Okay.
Actually, all time I stuck.
Circuit experiments. That time we can do a lot. You know, when you put your cells in the series and cells and parallel and all that, you can actually start working on these things. So I did it with basis on I had children actually create circuit diagrams in the laboratory.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
रूबी कुमारी, उसके बाद दीप्ति गिरधर एंड गैलेक्सी 17 जो आपका नाम है वो पूछ लीजिएगा.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
अभी रुक जाइए. गैलेक्सी, रूबी कुमारी.
I have asked, sir.
आपका हो गया. बहुत बढ़िया. खुश. चलिए, वेरी नाइस. खुश हूं मैं, आपका क्वेश्चन आंसर हो गया. गैलेक्सी 07.
Sir, mine से दीप्ति गिरधर.
इसके बाद आपका दीप्ति जी. इसके बाद आपका. ठीक है. हाँ, लास्ट क्वेश्चन.
Good evening, sir.
हाँ, पूछिए.
Good evening, sir.
हो गया. गुड इवनिंग.
सर, सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि हिंदी और संस्कृत को कैसे इंटरेस्टिंग बनाया जाए. हिंदी और संस्कृत. मैं हिंदी की टीचर हूँ.
ओके.
जी, तो हिंदी और संस्कृत को कैसे इंटरेस्टिंग बनाया जाए, इसके लिए.
मैम, अगर हिंदी और संस्कृत है तो हिंदी अगेन लैंग्वेज है. लैंग्वेज के लिए भी अगर आप रोल प्ले करो, ड्रामा करो, 1 एक्ट प्ले करो, सब कुछ कर सकते हो. जैसे भी ग्रामर के लिए जैसे ऊपर नीचे वो सब एक्शंस कर सकते हो. बच्चे वो एक्शंस करे तो भी हो सकता है. और प्लस आपके अगर जिस तरह से आपके प्रोज होते हैं, लेसन्स होते हैं, उस तरफ से वीडियोस भी दिखाओ तो इट कैन इजीली हैपन. वन मोर थिंग राइट नाउ मैम, अभी जब हम लोग अभी टीवी पे बहुत सारे वो श्लोक्स आ रहे हैं, अभी रामायण महाभारत सब कुछ आ रहा है. तो अगर आपका कोई लेसन है तो बच्चों को बोलो ये सीरियल का ये पार्ट देख लो, फिर कल हमारा डिस्कशन होगा इसके ऊपर.
जी जी.
उनको एक और चीज ऐड कर रहा हूँ मैं. आप उनको जैसे कि कहते हैं ना एपिस कुछ होते हैं, कुछ स्पेशल मेंशंस होते हैं, उनको इनैक्ट कराइए. बच्चे उसको इनैक्ट करें, रिकॉर्ड करें, आपके साथ शेयर करें. इसको बोलते हैं राइट. जो मैम ने बोला बहुत अच्छी बात बोली. इनफैक्ट दीप्ति गिरधर जी आपका क्वेश्चन. डिम्पी कालरा आपके पास क्वेश्चन है क्या?
Sir, my question is how to make online teaching effective.
अच्छा, okay.
So मैम ऑनलाइन टीचिंग के लिए फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट्स नॉट इजी, आपको पहले बहुत प्लान करना पड़ेगा. अगर मैंने ये वर्कशॉप किया आज, तो फॉर 2 days आई हैव बीन प्लानिंग कौन सा वीडियो में दिखाओगी, कौन सा प्रेजेंटेशन करोगी, प्रैक्टिस इन फ्रंट ऑफ मिरर आल्सो. सो ये प्रैक्टिसिंग आपको करना पड़ेगा सो दैट यू नो योर लेसन इज इफेक्टिव. प्लानिंग, second executing wise you have to know how to go about things. On third, थोड़ा कुछ हैंड्स ऑन बच्चों को करवाए, जैसे मैंने आपको करवाया, कुछ ना कुछ तो बच्चे के हाथ पे करवाए, कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछो, कुछ रिस्पॉन्सेस दो. use the chat box, use whatever medium you have, but you should get the response back.
Last question, Mamta.
Thank you.
Sir, Veena Misra.
Sir,
Mansi madam. You have a question? No. Galaxy Tab.
Sir, Mansi.
Sir, Veena Misra.
How can I help very weak students to understand the topic, ma'am?
मैम वीक स्टूडेंट्स को तो आपको थोड़ा सेपरेटली आपको उनको लेना. इन द क्लास यू आर टीचिंग, बट सेपरेटली इफ यू हैव you can do a separate session with them also online would definitely help. And sending them multi-level worksheet, because all worksheets, पूरा worksheet जो intelligent बच्चे कर सकते हैं वो मत देना, उनका confidence खराब हो जाएगा. Give them some multi-level worksheet which you can go from simple to complex.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
I'm Dimple. Sir.
आपका question last.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. I would like to thank you for wonderful session. Could you tell me, please, how should I use in pre-primary classes like nursery, LKG, and UKG?
So, ma'am, प्री प्राइमरी में तो एनीवे सब कुछ एक्सपीरियंशियल होता है, बिकॉज जो भी आपको देना होता है मैनिपुलेटिव्स, उनको छूकर ही बोलना है कि ये हार्ड है, ये सॉफ्ट है, ये 2+2 भी आपको मैनिपुलेटिव देखकर उसको करवाते हो, तो वहाँ पे तो लर्निंग कंप्लीट है. करवाते हो आप उनको, सो वहाँ पे बहुत है.
चलिए कविता जी.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Just one question, ma'am.
क्वेश्चन तो खत्म हो गए नहीं. कौन पूछ लीजिए, चलिए पूछ लीजिए.
मैम छोटे बच्चों को, हेलो मैम, छोटे बच्चों को जो स्टैंडर्ड 1, 2 and 3 में है, वो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में बहुत इंटरेस्ट नहीं ले रहे, तो उनके अंदर इंटरेस्ट कैसे लाया जाए?
Okay, so that is going to be a little risky, difficult. इसलिए उनको ना आप YouTube अपना वीडियोस बना के भेजो थोड़ा, because when you're creating videos and sending them, आप म्यूजिक भी डाल सकते हो, आप थोड़ा ड्रामा भी कर सकते हो. So therefore make videos, send them, और फिर वो in the platform just ask questions. बच्चों कैसा लगा आपको ये वीडियो, क्या सीखा आपने, तो keep it that online teaching, keep it 15-20 minutes, but videos उनको ज्यादा भेजो.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kavita ji. Wonderful. Thank you for all.
So much.
Gaurav sir, can you please give me one chance to speak up?
मैम आप इतनी देर से वेट कर रही थी अभी तक.
Hello.
मैं इतनी बार बोल चुका हूँ. फाइनल चलिए पूछ लीजिए, जल्दी पूछिए.
Sir, my name is Sagorika. I'm from World Peace School, Alandi. I just want to ask one question. The session was very nice. Ma'am, can you please help me out? I'm teaching in pre-primary class. How can we use this experimental learning in teaching tables?
Okay, tables is repeated addition.
Yes.
तो वो अभी आप बताओ, keep two bananas, then again 2 bananas, and again 2 bananas. तो मैंने कितनी बार bananas रखा? So 3 times. So 3 times मैंने 2 bananas रखा, तो what did I get? I got 6. So again you will have to use real manipulators and show it to them in a video. तो आपको ना वीडियो के कैमरा के सामने, लैपटॉप के सामने एक्चुअल ड्रामा करना है बच्चों के लिए, एक्चुअल ड्रामा.
Okay, thank you very much.
चलिए धन्यवाद. शेरिल, पॉल, बाकी प्रेथा, कुरूप, जिनके भी क्वेश्चंस जो अभी अनआंसर हो रहे हैं, माय हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट कि बाद में कनेक्ट कर सकेंगे हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे दोबारा से एक बार कविता जी को बुलाएं, but for now उनको भी कहीं जाना है. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful session. Thank you, Gaurav sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance, and
thank you so much, Kavita ma'am and sir.
Gaurav, so much. Thank you, IPN.
Thank you, sir.
Really wonderful.
Thank you both of you, ma'am and sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Take care.